The first thing I inherited from my mother was her silence. The second was her button box. It was an old biscuit tin, rust blooming at the corners, tucked on the top shelf of her closet. After the funeral, I brought it home and set it on my kitchen table. For a week, I couldn't touch it. I'd just pass by, feeling the weight of what was inside. When I finally lifted the lid, the faint scent of her rose, ivory soap, cedar, something warm and familiar. Inside was chaos. A tumble of buttons of every size and kind, smooth pearls, rough wooden discs, garish plastic shapes, a single jet black gem. My mother wasn't a woman of words. She spoke in gestures, a fresh muffin on the counter, a patched seam, a hand pressed quietly to my forehead. Looking into that box, I realized it was her autobiography, written in bone, shell, plastic, and pearl. I poured them onto the table. The clatter was sharp, but beneath it I swore I heard her laugh. My fingers knew some of them by touch, the brown wooden ones from my father's work shirt, the daisy from my childhood overalls. And there, the porcelain violet button from the blouse she wore the last time I saw her. I couldn't leave them loose. I went to a craft store, bought a square of dark velvet, and began to sew. No plan, no pattern, just instinct. Denim beside pearl, daisy beside jet. A map of a life stitched in silence. As I worked, I found myself talking to her. A clear button for the flu nights she stayed awake with me. A brass one for the arguments I never apologized for. Every stitch felt like a conversation I'd been to have. When I sewed on the final violet, the cloth was heavy in my lap. Heavy with memory, with love that had lived unspoken but not unfelt. And in that weight, I felt peace for the first time since she was gone. Now it hangs framed in my hallway. To strangers, it's just a square of velvet covered in buttons. To me, it's her voice. Every "I love you" she never said, finally answered.